The Supreme Court said late last night that the way is now cleared for Chrysler to be sold to Italian carmaker Fiat. This is big. We also hear about the first repayments of TARP money to the tune of $68 billion. What does this all mean? Let's bring in our financial correspondent, BIANNA. Always nice to have you, my friend. So we know that the Supreme Court was largely procedural. This wasn't really a threat to the deal, but now that it can actually happen, how big a deal is it?
It is a big deal and really sets a precedent. Overnight, as you mentioned, the Supreme Court rejected the appeal from 3 Indiana pension funds. So this deal was set to be closed on June 15th with Fiat and ultimately Chrysler emerging from bankruptcy in an orderly fashion. Now, by Chrysler doing this, they're losing $100 million a day. If you think about it.
$100 million a day that the factories are closed?
Right. And Fiat had actually said and expressed doubts that it would extend that offer if it went past June 15th. And the U.S. government said, you know what, if this happens, we could possibly see a liquidation by as early as next week. The government doesn't want that, but the bigger picture is the government really wanted to set a precedent. This was an orderly, a quick bankruptcy, and really set the way and the tone for GM if that were to follow suit as well.
Now, on that theme, we have news of the first repayment from the banks of our money, our TARP money. Now, at first it was said $68 billion in profit. Then we hear it's a couple of billion in profit, but a repayment. Then we hear, but it's going back into TARP, not to us. Is this good for the taxpayer?
Well, we're hearing a lot. First of all, any sort of repayment is good for the taxpayer. But Warren Buffett, remember a few months ago, said that he does believe that we will get our interest back from this payment to banks. But $2 billion is not $68 billion. The government as a whole lent out $200 billion to 500 companies. So this is just a small percentage of that, but it is a step in the right direction. It really sets precedent that these banks are being profitable right now. The country's going through bailout fatigue, but a lot of these banks were actually going through bad guy fatigue. They've wanted to give this money back. A lot of them said they didn't need it to begin with. The government wanted to make sure they could raise money on their own. They could issue debt without any sort of government assistance, and they were able to do that. 10 banks gave this money back, $68 billion. Of course, we only made $2 billion. So they've been touting 68, not the $2 billion. But we'll set this, well, this sets the tone, and we'll see if other banks follow suit.
And they're pushing for optimism. That's where they're talking about green shoots, storms receding. But gas prices going up. Why?
41 straight days we've seen gas prices go up over 60% since the end of December. And this is really causing concern that we could see a slowdown to any sort of economic recovery. It's causing a lot of pain for consumers, especially in hard-hit states like Michigan. 12.9% unemployment there. We're seeing that they have the highest level of gas prices in the country. And it's because there are refining issues, and also we have a weak dollar. Remember, oil prices are traded in U.S. dollars. So that's the two reasons why.
So the economy's getting better, but gas is still going up.
Gas is going up.
BIANNA, thank you very much.